Okay, at this point, you and your workshop participants have developed an understanding of the current system and envisioned a future one. What comes next? It's time to identify the specific changes that need to take place to move from the current to the future. So, how do you get started? You can create interventions by looking at two maps. I know that it might seem like a daunting task, but don't worry, I have a tool for you to use. It's called the 4 Actions Framework. Here's how it works. The 4 Actions Framework is a great tool to help you describe the changes you need to happen in the system, considering 4 possible actions for each of the 5 R's. The possible actions are create, reduce, eliminate, and raise. So, first you will consider whether you need to create new roles, relationships, rules, or resources to make a high-functioning system. Second, consider ways to reduce roadblocks in the system. For example, participants might choose to reduce the dominance of a particular system actor. Then, consider ways to eliminate harmful factors affecting the system, such as counterproductive rules that govern the system. And finally, determine if you need to raise the factors that strengthen a system, such as the role of local resource hubs. How do you decide which actions to take? Well, consider putting your current and future system maps next to one another. Using these visuals, work through each of 4 actions as a group, asking yourself, what do you need to create, reduce, eliminate, or raise to create our future system? Okay, so by now, system actors have identified the changes that need to take place within the system. In fact, you may have a long list, but you might be thinking, how do we actually go about creating the changes that we have identified? Well, at this point, you're ready to start considering system strengthening interventions. That's the next step in our dialogue with system actors. Put your participants to work brainstorming possible interventions that could be carried out to achieve the change that they have identified for each of the 5 R's. When developing your future map, you already outlined the new roles, relationships, and resources you need. Now you need to specify how you will create those roles and relationships and link resources or tap into them. Plus, you will need to identify the steps required for all this to become reality and not just a vision. Give participants space and encourage creativity. Following your brainstorming activity, your participants should have a lengthy and exciting list of possible interventions. So how do you choose which one or ones to carry out? That's up to you. Given your unique context and the system actors in the room, develop a participatory method for identifying interventions that you want to carry out. You might use multiple rounds of voting or choosing to build consensus through conversation. You decide. While working with public service providers in Nepal, we asked participants to build consensus around interventions by asking 2 important questions. What interventions could be implemented right away? And which interventions had broad support from system actors in the room? We asked small groups to narrow down the list of proposed interventions and to present their preferences to the group. Through ongoing dialogue, the group was able to collaboratively refine the list and select 3 interventions that had broad support that could be implemented right away. Finally, conclude your dialogue process by discussing and assigning roles and responsibilities for carrying out the intervention. What roles are needed to make this intervention a success? Who will do what? What support is needed from actors in the room? Again, create a participatory process for designing the intervention that is aligned with your context. Why is it important to engage system actors in the intervention design process? Well, because it helps to foster ownership and encourage buy-in into the intervention and helps facilitate the type of flow of ideas and information that it is so crucial for system strengthening.